Good afternoon, gardening friends. My name's Jackie. Welcome to Gone Potty Gardening. We haven't been round for a couple of weeks and I didn't actually realise it was 2 weeks. It's gone so quickly. But we've had lots going on here at the smallholding. We've had, unfortunately, another fox break-in, which broke my heart because it took 4 more hens. It's to do with the, it was to do with the fence. There was like 2 rows and one of the rows was in amongst the bush and anyway, I've done a proper good project on that now and I'll show you that in a future video. I've actually done, put some damp course underneath the fence and it took me a good 3 or 4 days to do it all, and I will show you that. And also bought a separate fencer on a battery, hoping that that will help, as well if anything goes wrong. But anyway, fingers crossed, I don't want any more of that. It's horrible. And also we've had, well, luckily from those hens, I had some eggs that were in the incubator. So we've had some more chicks. Morning. The fields around, we've got, as you know, we've got 1.2 acres. Well, they've become quite, the weeds are overtaking the stinging nettles and stuff like that now. The stinging nettles are good for the donkeys. They love them, obviously when they're cut. So our neighbour, well, not direct neighbour, but, the local farmer, is there a bee in here? Anyway, the local farmer offered to top one of the fields for us, which is cut it really short. If you keep doing that, apparently it keeps the weeds in the end they might die where you keep cutting them down. So he did one of the fields for us. I'll pop a little bit of footage in now. When we first moved over to Ireland, of course you need all the tools, don't you, to manage the land that you've got. And with hindsight and looking back, I think I should have looked into it a bit more rather than buying a petrol strimmer, and all this. Because there's a tool that I found recently that is absolutely fantastic. It's got a Hyundai engine on it, and again, I'll show you some footage of that. Now that machine is a beast. I mean, it just gets through it in no time whatsoever. So I did I've started half of the backfield and I've used that on there, and yeah, I've got bitten to death, look. Yeah, the mosquitoes down there got me. But we've also had the builders in for a couple of weeks, and they're coming back in probably a week's time now. But it's been hard, with the builders here. We've had to put the dogs, make up a run in the polytunnel with both ends open, and so they're out the way while the work's getting done. But it'd be great when it's finished. But putting them out there has worked out really well. They're as good as gold, and there was no little dogs nipping around anyone's feet. They're coming back in a fortnight when all the plaster stuff's dry on the walls to do the final finishes and the guttering. So we've still got people coming in, and yeah, that's going to be ongoing for a few weeks, I think. But that has had sort of an effect on getting into the garden, because if I was to go out the back garden and start gardening, the dogs would see me, then they'd bark, and it would be chaos. So I feel this year, we'll get some crops, but I don't feel it's going to be a proper full-on you know, good year because of the time that I haven't been able to get in there as much as I would have normally. At the end of the day, we're only one person, aren't we? And we have to prioritise things and do things, you know. But like I say, after this, this is about 5 years for us now here, I finally think that I've found the right setup in the garden, you know, for the mini tractor we've got. You know, the space to drive around the tracks, and I sound mad, don't I? But, you know, I've set it out the way I think is easier to manoeuvre around the place and use the little tractor. I'll be able to show you some footage of all that in a future video. But while I'm not able to get on properly with anything, I've come up with a little idea now. I'm always doing this. I like to recycle things if I can, if they're in good condition, you know. And we've got an old bed the kids used to sleep on when they come over, and one strut on the base I think is broken, so we actually bought another bed. So we're going to dump this one, but I've actually looked in there today and decided that I'm going to make a little chicken tractor for the chicks, you know, any chicks that are born. And we got 3 of the lavender chicks as well, so altogether there's 5 chicks at the moment. So yeah, I want to be able to like put them in there, make a little lid on the top and put it wherever I want inside of the electric fence part of the ground, you know. And I think that would be good for them. So I'll just show you what the bed's like and the idea that I've got. So this is the base of an old divan bed. I've got, obviously there's 2 parts to it, but when you look inside, I'll try and shine the camera up and let you see, but there's like a proper wooden frame, even down to this edge. So that would be ideal if I take all this material off, spend a little bit of time taking all the staples out and getting the material off, I'll have a frame. So I'll do that and I'll be back with you after that. Now, amongst the other things to dump, was this old computer chair. Now I'm going to take those casters off of there and use them on the chicken run. This bed must have had casters on and I don't know where they are, but anyway, so there's already holes there, look. So I'm just going to put a caster on the top end of the run and put a bit of rope on the other. And yeah, so I've got a while, but I'll get on with the staples, get all them removed, and we'll see what the frame's like. Actually, I've just had a thought, actually, while spending all that time trying to remove them, they're going to be on the bottom, they're not going to be any harm, so I'm just going to pull the material off. So there you go, I've taken all the cover off of this frame, and over there in the corner I took the casters off of that old computer chair, so they work fine. I've tried that, they go whatever way you want. So I've put one on each corner of the back there. So that's the bed there. But what I'm going to do is leave that slat going across there, move this one up to here against that end post there. Then I'll make a little chicken wire top with a frame round it that sits in there on a hinge that I can open. And you see these 2 bits here, I need to put 2 long lengths of wood across there, obviously one there going to that corner there. I put the chicken wire up to there, you know, on that bit and down the side, but I'll also cover that with a small tarpaulin and staple it to that end so that they can go in there and they can keep dry. And also on that end bar I'll attach some rope that I can pull it with. So yeah, there's a bit to go yet. I was just testing to see if that fitted inside, and it just does. So that's handy, for that needs a clean out. And obviously I'll have to find something to coat it with to weatherproof it, something that is safe for pets and that. And yeah, so it's brilliant, isn't it? but you could if you wanted. I mean, that's plenty tall enough for normal hens. But I'm particularly using it for the chicks, really. So I'm really pleased with that. And I've got the other half of the bed obviously left, which I'll make another one. So I've got two. I want to breed some more little chicks, you know, and it's nice to have these. I mean, you can move them around wherever you want. And that patch of ground where I've got the hens is quite a big area, so, you know, they look good. So therefore, I haven't got to go to the skip with the old bed. All I've got to get rid of is the material, which fits in a carrier bag. So it's not a lot to get rid of. And yeah, it's a nice little project. Anyway, I shall keep doing videos this week. And hope you're all well and looking after yourselves and enjoying this nice weather. And until the next time, I'll see you then. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Why not come and join me on Facebook or Instagram? The link is in the description.